Namaste, immortals, and welcome to our home here in Prescott Valley. And my name is David, and this is going to be a class that deals with backbends. Okay, so when we think of backbends, I think of it as a misnomer in a way because what we're really doing is lengthening the front of the body. Okay, so we're moving out of the pelvic floor and lifting through the front of the body. So I think of them more as a front line of the body opener. Okay, so yeah, and as always, just practice within your limits. And this is one of those classes that you can come back to several times, and maybe you don't really do it perfectly or the way you want to the first time, and maybe you want to back off from some of the first postures, or and then revisit the class, and you can become stronger and stronger. That's kind of the way I've always approached video classes. Like, yeah, just if this one fits within your abilities, you can always just refer back to this class. All right, so awesome. So let's go ahead and get started. And you might need a couple of blocks. I've got blocks of two different sizes. This one's a thicker block, and this one's a lower block. And those will come in handy later on in the class. You might even be able to get by with using a book about this kind of thickness, and maybe put a pad or a blanket over the book to help you become more comfortable. I have a strap here. I might not even need to use the strap, but I might show you how you can use it in one of the postures that we do later. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. And you feel grounded through your sit bones, kind of in pretty much a nice, comfortable seated pose. And just lift through the heart and reach through the crown of your head. And just take some nice deep breaths here, relaxing your shoulders as you exhale. And allow yourself to listen to your breath, to hear your breath, so you can use Ujjayi breath. And I have a video that I did earlier that explains how to do the Ujjayi breath. And see if you can keep that deep, rhythmic breath throughout the entire class. Awesome. Then I inhale. I'm just going to inhale the arms out to the sides, reach through your fingertips. You can even spread the fingers. And let's bring our hands right in front of the heart. Namaste. Prayer. We can take a few moments just to set our intention. What would you love to see in your world or in the world of someone else that you love, care about? Your intention can be your why. Why do you want to practice yoga? What would you love to be able to give or receive as a result of your diligent practice? And just listen to the breath. Find your intention. Then as we inhale, we can reach our prayer hands to the sky. And we find the field of your intention from the Akasha. We bring that intention into the crown chakra, into your ajna center, and into the throat center as we are mindful of our words, into our divine heart as we breathe in, and through the heart we can hinge forward as we place our hands onto the floor, into the earth, as we literally, figuratively plant the seeds of our intention into physical reality so that we'll be able to see this intention, your intentions manifested in your world. And we can walk the hands back in. Let's come up into a standing position. We'll come up into Tadasana. So this will be our warm-up. So the feet can be hip-width apart. Feel grounded through your feet and lifted through your heart. Shoulders are back, palms face forward. Just inhale the arms up. Reach through the fingertips and gaze up. Then as you exhale, bend the knees, sail the tailbone back, and shine the heart forward. And come into a forward fold. Clasp your outer elbows and hang. And breathe. Allow the body to sway from side to side. Moving with 110% awareness, mindfulness here. Come back to center. Inhale here. Exhale, release your arms. Let the arms and the head feel heavy as you slowly come up, stacking one vertebrae on top of the other. And the head is the last thing to come into place. You feel your alignment here. The head is centered directly over the heart. Good. Then again, we inhale, arms out wide, reach up. This time we're going to take a little bit of a back bend, so we can inhale, gaze up, and then watch how the thumbs move back. And then exhale, bend the knees again, shine the heart forward and down. Change the cross of your elbows and hang. And just gently shake your head no. Nod your head yes. And relax your neck. Relax your face here. One more breath, inhale. Exhale, release. Arms. Inhale, let's sweep arms out to the sides. Palms face forward. External rotation of the upper arms. Inhale, gaze up. And just watch the thumbs move back as we take a little bit of a back bend here. Inhale. Exhale, release. Arms down. All right, good. Now, let's place the heels of our palms right on the top of our hip bone. So, right on the back of the hips here. Really feel the hip bones here, okay? And press the palms, the heel of the palms right on top there. Good. Now, we're going to press the hips forward. Keep your chin tucked in here. Keep the hips moving forward. Chin is tucked in, and feel the elbows moving towards each other. Nice. Inhale here, a little back bend here. And breathe, exhale. Let's go ahead and bend the knees and gently bring the heart forward as we realign our spine and come all the way back up, pressing the feet into the mat. So, back bends can be pretty intense, so be really, really gentle in this class, okay? And only go towards your range of motion. We don't really want to go past that at all. In fact, less is more in yoga, especially in our back bends, okay? Because mostly we're in flexion, right? Mostly we're sitting in a chair or something, and this is just almost a counter stretch that tendency, okay? All right. So let's go ahead and do one more warm up here. We're going to inhale, arms out to the side, reach up. And then as we exhale, we're going to swim the hands behind us and feel the chest lift, feel the shoulder blades move towards each other, and inhale here. So this is going to be a nice upper back extension here. Breathe, gaze up. Go ahead and take that back bend, and then exhale. Bend your knees, shine the heart forward and down. Relax your neck. Let your head hang freely. And breathe. One more breath here. Inhale. Exhale, unclasp your hands. Now I'm going to sweep our fingertips along the mat and out in front of us for aqua chair pose. Lift the heart. Inhale. Breathe. Exhale. Nice. Inhale here. Make sure you can see your toes from here. If you can't, find a way to sail the tailbone back. Inhale, lift the heart. Breathe, exhale. Inhale, press the feet into the mat. Come up onto the toes. Inhale. Nice. Exhale, hands into Namaste prayer. You can feel the heart beating here. Good job. Okay, now let's come on to our hands and knees here. So our knees are hip width apart. Our wrists are directly under our shoulders. We can grip the mat with our fingertips. As we inhale, let the tailbone come up. Relax your shoulders down and gaze up. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Press your hands into the mat and hunch chin to chest. Move with your breath. Inhale, tailbone comes up. Face looks up. We can retract the shoulders. Exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Protract the shoulders. Chin to chest. Good. Move with your breath. Inhale. Retract shoulders, gaze up. And then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under. Press the mat away. Chin to chest. One more round here. There can be some movement in your hips as you come into cow pose. Then as you exhale, tuck your tailbone under your hips stabilize, chin to chest. Now come back into a neutral spine. Okay. Good. Let's come into a kneeling position. So our knees are still hip width apart. We're going to come into camel pose. Okay? So let's go ahead and tuck the toes under. So bring the heels of our palms right behind our hip, right on the top of our hips. Just like this. You can feel the hip bone with your palms. And keep the hips moving forward. Now remember, we're lengthening the front of the body. We're not collapsing into the back. Okay? And keep your chin tucked in here. Feel your elbows move towards each other. And you can really expand the chest here. You can take a deep, deep breath in here. Chin is still tucked in towards your chest. Good. Now if you want to move further into this pose, listen to your body. You can bring the left fingers to touch the left heel, the right to touch your right heel. And always feel the hips moving forward here. As you extend out, reach and gaze behind you. Or just keep your chin tucked in. Listen to your body. Everyone is unique. Good. And keep the hips moving forward. And then bring the hands back onto the back of the hip bone here. Keep that press. Keep the hands pressing forward. Nice. And now use your core and come all the way up here. Realign the heart directly over the hips, the crown chakra directly over the heart. Good. And to counter that, keep the knees where they are. Go ahead and place the tops of the feet onto the mat and very gently come into child's pose. It's a counter stretch. And notice how this feels in the body. These counter stretches are so important following our back bend. We're also working on calming our nervous system as well. Back bends can be very energetic, very energizing, and then we have the stabilizing, calming effect of the child's pose. Well done. Let's walk the hands back in. Okay, good. Now let's come into a seated pose. So let's come on into a seated pose here. All right. Good. Let's go ahead and bring the soles of the feet onto the mat. Soles of the feet are going to be hip width apart. Let's slowly roll down. This is going to be allowing us to get a little bit of a nice core work in as we slowly roll down. Feel the core engaging. And come all the way down onto your back. And we're gonna move towards bridge pose, okay? So let's bring the heels in a little bit closer towards your hips. And the feet are actually going to be a little bit wider than your hips. Go ahead and pigeon toe your feet in. Now, if you want to, you can use a block to help you remember to keep those knees in. All right? So you literally press your knees into the block. Right now I'm using my wider block, okay? You can use it this way, and you can even use a shorter block for this. So right now it's horizontal, and I'm just gonna press my knees into the block to keep my hips aligned perfectly. Now lift the hips, press your feet into the mat, press the inside of your heels into the mat, roll the shoulders under, and clasp your hands beneath you. Inhale, keep pressing the hips up high. And you can lengthen, just kind of lift the chin just slightly away from the chest. And breathe. Inhale here. And then exhale, unclasp your hands and slowly, very slowly, mindfully come all the way down. Good job. Now we don't want to counter stretch yet because we're going to do this one more time. But this time, we can still use the block just like you did before. I'm going to show you a way to use the strap to really help with that alignment, maintain that alignment with your hips, which is really important in camel pose. So if you have a strap, or you can use a belt, anything that you can use to limit the length here, okay? Whoops. Straps can be a little tricky. Bear with me here, guys. So I'm just kind of lengthening the strap. All right, perfect. Now I'm gonna place the strap around my legs. Okay. Now this is gonna keep my knees from splaying apart. All right, it's going to keep a perfect alignment. So my goal is to have my knees or my legs in perfect alignment with my hips. This is right here for me. Okay, just like we did before, I'm going to press the heels, the inside heels into the mat, lift the hips, and then roll the shoulders under, and then press the upper arms into the mat. Lift the hips for bridge pose. And breathe deeply here. And then as we exhale, we can unclasp the hands and come all the way down. Good job. All right. Nice. And actually, that was a little bit tight for my knees. I wanted my knees to come out just a little bit more, so I'm going to loosen the strap just slightly. Notice I kind of have contact with my fingertips and my heels, okay? Now we're going to do a wheel pose. You don't have to do wheel. You can come back to bridge, or you can even take this pose off, all right? It's up to you. So listen to your body. For wheel, I like to inhale, reach the arms up, inhaling. Exhale, I'm going to bend the elbows and place the palms under my shoulders, or my fingers under my shoulders. I want to make sure that I can see my elbows from here when I gaze up. Okay. So the elbows are just pointing up. And this is a more advanced posture here for wheel. So we're going to inhale, lift the hips up, and then lift all the way up. I don't like to come on the top of my head. I want to keep lifting here. And breathe. And exhale. One more breath. Just pressing the feet and the palms into the mat. Lift the hips. Go ahead and engage your glutes. And exhale, slowly come down. So don't come on the crown of your head. Rather, tuck your chin and come on to the back of your head, just like this. Good job. Okay, we can feel the energy that we really can access in our back bends. And remove the strap. Now finally we get to do some counter stretch here. We can windshield wiper your feet from side to side, your knees. Windshield wipe your knees from side to side. Then come back to center. Now we get to do that counter stretch. We hug the knees in gently, being kind to yourself. So we were in a deep extension of the spine. Now we're coming into flexion. Give yourself some love here. You can feel the knees moving in circles. Massage out that lower back. And we can change directions of that circle. Continue to massage out your low back. Good. Now, let's bring the right hand on the outside of our right foot. Left hand on the outside of our left foot as we come into happy baby. Draw the knees down towards the earth. And just allow the baby to rock from side to side. And breathe. And come back and to center. You can keep the knees up, not keep the legs up. Let's place the palms by the sides. Now we're going to slowly roll down. Press the lower back into the mat by engaging the core and pressing the belly button down towards the floor. Slowly, ever so slowly, lower the legs down. Side out. More fun with blocks. So we can find a block. I'm going to use my thick block. I'm going to place it directly under my sacrum. And you'll know when you have it perfectly there. It just brings the sacrum into a neutral position here. The sacrum is kind of a bowl-shaped bone, so we kind of reinforce the neutral shape of the sacrum. And this can feel really, really good. Sometimes it's nice just to lift the knees, straighten the legs, and just let the bones sink, let the femur sink into the sacrum. It can feel really, really, really good. You can stay here as long as you like. You can bend the knees, and you can press the feet into the mat. Remove the block. Now, I did one class. One of my most memorable classes I've ever taken was focused only on back bends, and it was kind of a passive back bends. And what we would do is we would have a block, and we would place it directly behind our heart, and let the shoulders relax and come into any pose you like, really. You want to be gentle with yourself in these kinds of postures. And you can always make slight adjustments if that didn't feel really that great or that comfortable. You can move the block a little bit closer towards your head. You can really feel that expansion in your chest. And relax your shoulders. This is a passive heart opener here, chest opener. You don't really need to be aggressive with these poses, so the low block might work best. Then when you're ready to come into Shavasana, you can lift up, take the block away completely, and relax, coming into corpse pose. Roll the shoulders under, palms face up, and relax into the pose. And you can stay in Shavasana for as long as you like, just letting the body feel heavy. Let it drop into the earth. Let it go. While the body is resting and relaxed, the consciousness can really explore and expand into the unobstructed universe. You can exhale, let the body feel heavy. As you inhale, you can feel yourself expanding. Just let the breath be what it wants to be. Just explore the limitless field of consciousness. You can stay here as long as you like, but whenever you're ready, you can roll over onto your side. And you can spiral up into a comfortable seated pose. I want to thank you for joining me as we explored our backbends, and we'll do another backbending class. A little bit more variations, maybe slightly more advanced, I think. But yeah, just want to thank you so much for joining me as I inhale with gratitude. I exhale with compassion for all beings. Namaste.